Hello, everyone. Welcome to our latest exhibition, Symphony of Water and Trees. I'm standing next to Kristel Schneider. Kristel,
Hello.
thank you very much for taking the time to come. I know you live in the middle of France, in the Auvergne, next to the River Allier. Um, Kristel Schneider is not the most French name that anyone in the audience would have heard of. She's actually originally from Holland and spent, I think, many years
In Amsterdam.
in Amsterdam. You
Yeah.
grew up.
Yeah.
And when did you move to France?
It was around 2009, I think. So it's quite a long time ago.
And you've been interested and been in photography since before then, or
No, I was working for a pharmaceutical company before,
hmm.
but I changed my life at
Okay.
one point. I turned the wheel, as they say. And
How did you get into photography?
yeah, that is a funny story.
Uh-huh.
My brother was working in a photo shop
Hmm.
and he had a very big Nikon camera.
Hmm.
And as his little baby sister, I was never allowed to touch his camera, of course. But it was such a fascinating thing. And yeah, as soon as I had my own money, I bought my own camera. And I said to him, okay, you're not able to touch this one.
And when was that? That was a long time ago.
Oh, yeah, that was a
Yeah.
long time
Okay.
ago when I was
Okay.
very young.
And so you developed your photography after you changed careers and moved to France. Then photography became kind of a full-time profession.
Yes, that's correct. Because before I just took pictures in the weekends or during the holiday, like a lot of people. But I was always fascinated by photography. I read a lot about photography. So when
Hmm.
I moved to France, I got reconnected to nature again, and I picked up basically photography and nature together, and that's how my love for nature photography came also.
Cool, because we'll see quite a few of your pictures, and you can see some on the walls behind us. And these are the topics we'll talk about. So you're in the middle of France in the Auvergne. You have the River Allier as one of your neighbors, which is
Mm-hmm.
actually flows from south
South.
to north, yes,
Yes,
and it
yeah.
ends up in the Loire. And you have been involved in two fascinating projects, both of which have resulted in books. This is Variation in Trees,
Yes.
and the other one is Riverscape. And we'll talk about these because I think the first one was Variation in Trees,
Yes, correct.
and then um, basically, I think you took a lot of pictures of the area where you live in the Auvergne. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. For me, it was a good way to explore the area also, and I went to several areas in my region, and I thought, okay, I take a subject that we often
Hmm.
pass, an
Hmm.
ordinary subject, and trees we pass every day, but yeah, I don't know about you, but I don't look always up to trees. We pass them.
So they're kind of things that you see, but you don't really take any notice of them. You don't you
Yes,
don't pay
yes.
attention. Okay.
So, and I wanted to
Yeah.
take more and more notice of the trees. And
Hmm.
my father was also a big tree lover, so it was planted already when I was young. But yeah, when I look at the trees in the Auvergne, they have a lot of character, and they're old, they're rough because of the weather. So for me, tree photography is like taking a portrait, like from a human person.
So that's why this fits the title of this picture,
Yes,
charisma.
yeah,
It
exactly.
fits.
Yeah. For
Okay.
me, it has a lot of character and it's been through a lot because it's in a valley and
Hmm.
with a lot of wind and snow and storm. And yeah, you can see it holds on very well. But
So is this at the end of winter
this
or
is in between seasons.
okay.
And this is just the end of winter because you see, I'm pointing now at the photo, but nobody can see that. But and there's a little bit of white still here on the branches.
Ah, yes.
But what I love is the in between seasons because of the mood and the colors
Hmm.
nature gives. It's just opening up leaves, or the leaves are falling, or the fruit that just opening up. Yeah, that's what I love, the textures and the structures.
And I believe this book,
Mm.
Variations in Trees, it also won a prize at the International Photography
Yeah,
Awards
correct.
in New York,
In
um,
2018, yes. Yeah, yeah.
2018.
So
Fantastic. And here we have another tree in the Auvergne,
yes.
newborns in the snow. Tell us about this.
Yeah, it's the cover photo from the book, and it's basically the tree that's maybe taken the most. Everybody takes a photo of this tree, but I wanted to take another type of image
Mhm.
because it's in the middle of the valley in the Sancy, um, and it's the point where everybody goes to from all kinds of hiking routes also.
Mhm.
And I waited. I went back there many, many, many times to capture this image. Here, it's just the fruit is just opening up, and that's the little bit of red tone you see in the tree,
Mhm.
and it's all white behind. You don't see the rest of the valley because it was just mist coming in with the snow.
Oh,
And
so the
when
snow makes the tree a
yeah,
little bit
yeah.
fade into the
Yeah, it's a
background.
kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
filter over
Okay.
the
Yes.
image. And when people come over and see the image printed, you
Yes.
can see very well there is a kind of curtain
Of snow.
of
Yeah,
snow
yeah,
in
yeah.
front of it.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Very nice. And then I think we move on to your other project, Riverscape, which I think is fascinating because having kind of taken a lot of photographs of the trees in the Auvergne, you decided to concentrate more on the water because trees and water are these two big things in your life.
Yeah.
And this project, I think you didn't only, it's not only a photography project,
No.
you've cooperated with another artist. Tell us about this.
Yeah, so after the trees project, it was important for me, yeah, to start another project. And what do you do? So I crossed the River Allier a lot of times because it's a kind of lifeblood in the Auvergne region. And it was one evening that I passed the river, and it was such a beautiful light. So I thought, why don't I create a project around the River Allier? And for me, images come to life not only printed in books or on big prints, but also with music. So
Hmm.
for me, Riverscape, yeah, music had to play a big role in it. And I contacted an Italian musician and pianist, Fabrizio Patolini. I know him already a little bit from another project because he always is on my headphone when I work on my images. So, and he lives close to the River Po in Italy.
Hmm.
So for him, it was also fascinating to do something with the river. So he said, okay, let's do this together. He had access to my images and he started composing an album,
Hmm.
especially for this project. It's called also Riverscape. And I was working in the field and we were closely working together on this project.
Wonderful. And I think you've done some shows together in
Yeah.
Holland, and where
Yeah,
else?
in England and
In England.
Scotland and
Okay.
Holland.
And you show the images and he plays the music then.
Yes, it's
Okay.
the little video clips I made also
Hmm.
during my
Hmm.
field trips, and yeah, the especially composed music together with two with the cellist and two violist. Yeah, he does the big show, and yeah, that's amazing to see your image with the music. So
And
it's
those
great.
observant in
Yeah,
our audience will notice that the what you're looking at on the screen is in fact it's this image
yeah,
behind us here on the wall, and it's a wonderful image. It's it's so much better live here on the wall than on a screen. And then next to it, we have a Symphony of Light. And what I wasn't sure when I first saw this picture, my eyes were always trying to focus on something, and I found it difficult to focus on something. I can focus on some of the whiter areas here, but then other bits further away, they seem to be out of focus. So what's going on
yeah.
here?
Now, for me, it's very important to create a certain mood in an image.
Mm,
And I'm a very intuitive photographer.
mm,
So yeah, creating moods is also the mood I'm in at that moment. And
hmm.
there I just came back from my physiotherapist because I broke my ankle.
Oh,
And I had a tough afternoon, so I was walking with my crutches and my camera. And I saw that last light in the afternoon, and I was like, oh wow, I have to do something with that.
yeah.
So I created the mood I was in, but also, yeah, I was like, okay, it has to be a little dreamery and stuff like that. So I used camera technique, multiple exposure and ICM.
So there's
Yeah.
two exposures here.
Yeah, and that's what
Okay. Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
blurry part.
Okay.
And the water is moving, and of
Yeah.
course also the light is a little bit moving because
Yes.
of the leaves and the trees that are behind it. So it's everything is moving a bit.
Okay. Yes. And that creates this fantastic
Yeah.
mood. And then now we have this image, golden liquid, and I understand exactly the name.
Hmm.
And what I'm fascinated by are these white bits here, and it looks like it's either sunrise or sunset. And there are little waves. So you've obviously done a longer exposure
Yeah, it's
here to get the movement.
this is early morning, and what I
Hmm.
did, I took a lot of different types of water flow during the project, but
Mm.
because of the different altitudes the river is going through, you have different types of flow, water flow. The dynamic is everywhere different, and
Hmm.
here it's a little corner. And early morning, the water is very dark because of the shades also, and you have a lot of foam on it because it had that dynamic that it was a little bit turning also.
Oh, yeah, and you really see the
Yeah,
movement.
and
Yes.
I wanted
Yeah.
to create that movement in, but not totally flat. So for me, it's important to choose the right
Hmm.
shutter speed.
Hmm.
Sorry, I moved too much.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that's why it looks a bit unclear at certain point.
No, and you really see
Yeah,
the movement and the motion in
yeah,
the
yeah,
water.
yeah, yeah.
Here is crispy invasion. Obviously, we're in winter and we have some
Yeah.
hoarfrost. Tell us about this.
Now, besides the water flow, I also took a lot of different vegetation, and this is
Hmm.
along the riverside. And this is an invasion you see everywhere. I don't know exactly the name, but it's a Japanese thing that grows everything everywhere. It has
Okay.
big leaves
Hmm.
later on in the year, and in the winter, it's yeah, it has for me a lot of textures and that made it interesting to photograph,
Yes.
and also because of the crisp the frost on it.
That's what I love about your images. The trees, the water,
Hmm.
and all the landscapes, they have so much texture in them.
Yeah, that's yeah.
You always want to, I always want to reach out and actually touch the images
Yeah,
to
yeah,
feel
yeah.
that they're real and not just two-dimensional printed on paper. And here we have Awakening Lake.
Yeah, that's from the Variations in Tree project. It
Hmm.
could also be from Riverscape because it's water, but
Yes.
this is one of the lakes in the mountains, early
Hmm.
morning. And yeah, it's the sunrise. And what I liked was a bit of the silhouette, the calmness, a little bit of frost on the water, and yeah, the reflection in it, and to create a certain mood again.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful mood. It just all your images they radiate peace
Hmm.
and calmness, and
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what I love. Even if there's water flowing and it's
Hmm.
active, they still radiate peace and calmness.
Yeah, this
And
is
yes, well, you can see it's called dancing.
yeah. This is an image. Yeah, a lot of people love this also because of the title, but they actually see the trees dancing. And I choose for a silhouette to accentuate the silhouettes. So, and I made a little bit darker.
Yes.
But for me, yeah, the trees are actually dancing together as if it's a big disco part there.
So cool. Christel, this is wonderful. Is there something that you still want to tell that I haven't asked?
No, I think it was a very nice talk, and I like to thank you first to inviting me here to your beautiful gallery.
Well,
I think,
listen, everyone, you can come here and see Christel's prints on the walls until the 11th of January. We're starting, today is actually the 8th of November, and this afternoon we're opening this exhibition. And so between now, the 8th of November and the 11th of January, Christel's beautiful images will be on show here in the gallery. Please come along and see them.
okay,
Thank you
thank
very
you.
much. Thank you. Bye bye.